Hello, beautiful homemakers. I'm finishing up Chapter 4 of Pamphlet 2 of the original Fascinating Womanhood pamphlets. We are talking about the 7 essentials of good health, and we're on number 4, drink plenty of water. This is from 1922. Few people realize the enormous importance of water. The body is made up of 66% water, more than 2/3 by weight and many gallons in all. Now, if you do not drink a great deal of fresh water, your body will be forced to use its water over and over again. Needless to say, your entire system will suffer unless refreshed frequently with a new supply of water. There is nothing like drinking a great deal of fresh water, therefore, to clean your system of impurities and to give you a beautiful, natural complexion. Do not rely upon a haphazard system of drinking water. Adopt a plan and stick to it, by which you drink at least 2 or 3 quarts of water daily. Find out how many glasses it takes to fill a quart, and then drink 2 or 3 times that many glasses daily. You may easily absorb a pint before breakfast, a pint before lunch, a quart during the afternoon, and a pint before going to rest. Do not try to drink your entire ration of water at once. Take comparatively little at a time, but be sure that by the end of the day you have consumed the allotted amount. You need have no fear of drinking too much. Many people will tell you that it encourages excessive fat, but the fact is that it has that tendency only when taken with your meals. It's funny, I had been reading another book written around 1903 on health, and they were talking about the importance of drinking water, and somebody had written in the margin, "Ridiculous!" But then another book from that time said, "Oh, you get all the water you need in your food. There's no need to drink an excessive amount. You need to drink more if you drink coffee or tea, since they are diuretics. You need to replenish more than people who do not drink coffee or tea. And of course, if it's a hot day and you're working, then you need more water, especially if you're working outside." Okay, the 5th essential element of good health is eat with good judgment. Often lowered vitality, melancholy or insipid personality, and actual disease are caused by errors in eating. More often still, a carefully considered diet is the only possible relief or cure for a person with a weakened constitution. In other words, though an improper diet may not have caused your troubles, a proper diet may go a long way toward relieving them. Even those in perfect health ought to study the subject of diet sufficiently to know what they are about when eating. Not that they should starve themselves or deny themselves anything, but that they may maintain balance in their eating, using the proper amounts of the various kinds of foods required, and not too much or too little of anything. It is assumed, however, that comparatively few of the readers of this work will be in such health as to make a detailed study of this subject necessary here, and as our space is limited, we cannot cover it at the length its adequate treatment deserves. If your studies in home economics have not already familiarized you with the essentials of dietetics, and if your health is such as to make dieting advisable, make it your business to provide yourself with some book on this subject. Quite a number are advertised and offered for sale by mail and in bookstores. As eating is something that you do 3 times every day of your life, it is well worth your while to learn a little about the subject and to spend a little money for a book dealing with it. By habitually eating the wrong combinations of food, you may be lowering your vitality to such an extent that nothing you can do will give you that vivid and fascinating life and power which has its foundation in perfect health. I mentioned earlier the success I'm having with Fast, Feast, Repeat, And one thing is, it is helping cure my psoriasis. My elbow, very back of my neck, a tiny bit on my forehead. It's extremely annoying. It's very itchy, and I have seen a vast improvement by fasting. And since fasting is in the Bible, we know that it's good for us. God actually made our bodies to fast. Amazing, huh? The other thing I came across is how important vitamin D3 is, and vitamin K2, magnesium. Most of us are magnesium deficient these days because of our soil being depleted. And listen to what Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said over 2,500 years ago. He said, "All food is medicine, and the best food is the best medicine. Sunshine and fresh air must be considered as good food." What we've been talking about. And of course we get D3 from the sun. And you don't think that God made a mistake when he made the sun, do you? We're wearing too much sunscreen, and we need a minimum of 15 to 30 minutes in the sunshine every day. Hippocrates went on to say, "Please don't worry, as worrying is not considered to be a good food. And besides, medical science has made marvelous advances over the past hundreds of years, and we are now at the point where we can do a great deal to help cure diseases such as cancer." 2,500 years ago, they had a cure for cancer, which was eating a lot of garlic and onions. And believe it or not, the medical people are hiding today the research that has been done with onions and garlic, and studies in China where people really eat a lot of that. They have no stomach cancer. Scientific American publication, The Chemistry of Garlic and Onions, shows that antibacterial, antifungal, and antithrombotic, which means it keeps the blood from clotting. There's so much amazing food that has healing properties. We need to be looking to that instead of our medical communities. Another thing we also need is a constitutional amendment for medical freedom. Robert Barefoot wrote in his book, Death by Diet, that we need an amendment to the American Constitution enshrining medical freedom. This is what it should say. "Each and every American citizen has the right to choose and to practice the form of medicine that the citizen deems most beneficial to personal health, without economic, physical, political, or verbal interference or abuse, and any institution or governmental agency assigned to protect the state of the individual's health should be empowered only to make recommendations that do not infringe or prevent the individual's right to choose and to practice any form of medicine." That was written in 2002. We are moving on to point 6. Breathe deeply. Deep breathing and its importance to health has already been emphasized in connection with exercise. What we wish to bring out here is that it is advisable to acquire the habit of breathing deeply at all times, whether you are exercising or not. Breathing exercises persistently and frequently indulged in will do a great deal for you. Get the habit of taking good long breaths for a few minutes at a time, 10 or 15 times a day. In fact, every time you think of it. This is a form of exercise which does not even require that you stop working. If followed, your unconscious breathing in the intervals between exercises will become deeper and deeper, doing your lungs and your system an incalculable amount of good, and forming a habit of deep breathing which you may retain for a long time. Fresh air is one food of which you cannot possibly have too much. Finally, we reach number 7. Practice relaxation frequently. While relaxation has always been recognized as a benefit to the human organism, especially in the sense of resting or sleeping, it is only of late years that physical culture enthusiasts have developed exercise in relaxation. The relaxation afforded by the beauty sleep has always been recognized as highly important, and it is just as important today that young girls get enough sleep and rest as it has been in the past. But the regular hours devoted to rest should be supplemented by exercises and relaxation every hour or so during the day, and a special exercise should be carried out whenever something arises which makes you irritable, nervous, angry, impatient, or excited in any way. The exercise of relaxation consists in relaxing for a minute every mental and physical strain. You let every member of your body sag as a dead weight, and you assume a mental indifference to everything on earth. As the exercise can be taken standing or sitting as well as lying down, it can be resorted to at any time in the presence of others and without their knowledge. Begin first with your body. See that your ankles and wrists, fingers, knees, shoulders, and spine hang perfectly limp, just as if you were unconscious. When your body is perfectly relaxed, proceed to make yourself just as limp mentally. Leave your mind perfectly blank if you can, or let your thoughts wander idly and carelessly to unimportant or amusing things. Keep them, however, from concentrating upon any one subject. This exercise takes only a minute or so, but it is so effective that you are able to resume your activities again with recuperated interest and energy. Moreover, the short relief to the strain on your nerves at intervals during the day enables you to finish without the exhaustion and irritation which often accompanies unremitting activity. As no one with shattered nerves can be magnetic or charming, it is well worth your while to save your nerves wherever you can. But emptying your mind is actually the opposite of what the Bible tells you to do. We as Christians are not to empty our mind, but we are to fill it with Scripture. To meditate means to focus on a verse or a passage reading in the Bible and ponder its meaning. This is how the Holy Spirit helps to convict you of different ways you act and live your life. And if you're a homemaker, be sure to take plenty of rests every few hours. Just go lay on your bed for 10 minutes to realign your spine. We have a lot of work that causes us to hunch over and lean down, especially if we have small children. And we need to be resetting our shoulders and our posture. Perfect way to do that is to lie down. I also want to mention that you need to avoid toxic cleaning products. I knew one woman who was addicted to cleaning with bleach, and she had developed this weird health problem. And I was talking to her, and this subject came up, and it's like, that's your problem. You're inhaling toxic fumes. Or if your home is filled with new paint, new carpets, new furniture, it's outgassing. It can really affect your health. There's a wonderful book called Home Safe Home that goes into details about this. Also, remember that whenever it rains and isn't windy, open your windows to let all the good ions fill your home, replenishing your used bad air with fresh good air. And also remember to open your windows upon awakening to air out your bedroom for about 20 minutes, or just as you get up, and then make your bed, and then you can close the window. I thought we were going to finish this chapter, but the last section, even though it's only 2 or 3 pages, has so much information in it, we're going to have to start a new video.